Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. The Broncos will kick. Here's Brandon McManus to start us, and we are off from Denver. On the return, Jabril Peppers. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. First carry for Carlos Hyde. Able to fight through one tackle. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Ready. 319. 319.
They run again with Hyde on first. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Derek Wolfe in there to get him for a loss of 5. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Now a man who punted for the Broncos for 6 years, Britton Colquitt, on to kick it away. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up first and 10.
Let's go.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. First and 15 following the delay of game. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
Let's go. Hey, we're good.
On 3rd down, that's Lindsey, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Very left. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. Vance Joseph can hardly bear to watch. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So the Cleveland Browns coming back onto the field here. As you look at the quarterback spot, week 1, Tyrod Taylor's the guy. But Baker Mayfield, he's waiting in the wings, is he not?
He certainly is, and I think the Cleveland fans are waiting for him to get on the field. He brings a great excitement and a joy to the position. But Tyrod Taylor took his team to the playoffs last year, the Buffalo Bills. So he's a dependable NFL veteran that the Browns have consciously decided to start right now. But I expect Mayfield to have the job somewhere around midseason.
And then defensively, you've told me Myles Garrett looks pretty good, right?
I watched tape of him this summer. Not many people blocked him, and he went against some pretty darn good players along the way. I think he'll make a great jump here in year 2 and contend for Pro Bowl honors.
Under.
On 2nd down, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Slow.
1st down, a run with Hyde. Room here to run. And a solid run down inside the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And the first play will be a field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this would come up short.
Bring up the hot. Like 20.
And they'll go on the ground. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Christian Kirksey in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Hey, orange, orange! Orange, orange! Here we go, hot! Right 22, here we go!
Now Keenum throwing on second. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And defensively going with a dime set, 6 DBs on 3rd and 4.
Roger, Roger, Roger. Down, down, down. Hey,
A shotgun snap for Keenum. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
down, down. Here we go, hot. Down, down. Hey, go, Roger.
Keenum. And that is going to be incomplete. Terrence Mitchell right there on the coverage. On the incompletion, I turn to you as we continue to do all these week 1 predictions, and I ask Rookie of the Year, could this be a battle for Gotham between Darnold and Barkley?
I like it. I like that a lot. A quarterback, Sam Darnold with the Jets, a runner, Saquon Barkley with the New York Giants. But I'm thinking defense, and I'm going out west to the Denver Broncos. Bradley Chubb, defensive end, outside linebacker. Remember, Von Miller's on the other side. He'll take up a lot of attention. That should give Chubb more one-on-one opportunities to get quarterbacks on the ground.
Now it's Taylor. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Third and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Dancing to his left. Oh, he'll try and throw it deep to the other side. That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A huge gain of 40 yards on the 3rd down conversion. They'll give to Hyde, and they'll get him down right about the 20. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to Denver right after this.
Slow. Z. Ready.
On second down, here's Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Trying to they get it to Landry there. Well, partner, the last couple weeks I've been asking you about the favorites in each division. We talked about Super Bowl predictions and all that, but what about a team from each side that might surprise us a little bit this year?
Well, the one I'm going to start with in the AFC shouldn't be a surprise when you look at who they have returning from injury, and that's the Houston Texans. They were running the AFC South for a while when everyone was healthy and J.J. Watt was getting to the quarterback. Now Deshaun Watson returns, and they're an entirely different team with him at quarterback. On the NFC side, I know a lot of people looking at the Bears, and rightly so. I love them as a trendy pick. But I'm going to take one where people are saying maybe they're a 5-win team. I don't believe that for a second. The Seattle Seahawks. I think that they will surprise people and contend in the NFC West.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, damn.
Keenum will try again on 2nd down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run. Hyde. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The Browns trying to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. He's going to get it running right. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Now Taylor.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Derek Wolfe. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this down deep into Cleveland territory. A big play there just before halftime. 55 yards. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, Keenum throwing for his running back. He's got him complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to...
They'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are in for 6. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Throw left side complete. It's Higgins. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Let's go.
Here's Keenum now on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
Roger. Hey, orange. Down.
On first down, it's Keenum. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, as we look back to the final week of the preseason and the roster cuts, that final day of roster cuts, a lot of noise was made. The biggest noise, though, Khalil Mack moving to the Windy City.
That's one there. Let's look at it from Chicago's perspective. A young team growing, building on both offense and defense, and it's a city that loves defense. They love their linebackers. Khalil Mack being added to that group, that's just a win-win for them. Now you flip it over to Oakland. I never thought they'd let Khalil Mack go. I thought they'd figure out a way to get it done. But somehow, during the contract negotiations, everything broke down, and they decided to save that money, and they'll put it elsewhere in their roster. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Eluding the pressure right. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 3rd and 1, it's Taylor. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A couple of recent pickups. Taylor finding Landry for the Cleveland first down. They pitch it out to Hyde. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Third and long, it's Taylor being chased out left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gordon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. This will be caught at about the 6. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Able to power through, and he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Carlos Hyde, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And Denver getting set to take the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
To throw on second down is Keenum. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On is the punter King to send it away. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he's brought down. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. They run with Hyde. He's going to belt out and out, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Darian Stewart there to bring him down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now Taylor to throw. Forced out. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief, because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done, but they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it, and that's exactly what they did.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Keenum. Steps away to his left, and he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's brought down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Go, go, go.
Right back to him on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Back to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, orange arm! Orange arm! 22! 22!
They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Taylor going to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. Landry, the intended target. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Right.
Roger. Hey,
he'll look to throw. Sanders has it over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. And he'll spike it with 16 seconds remaining. Back to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. This defense making some plays right now, aren't they?
And they look like a group that really locked in before this series started. Read their scouting reports, got back to reading their keys, and playing with excellent leverage up front.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Roger.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Under.
The toss play. This is high. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Denver, good night, everybody.